What if Zoro witnessed Sanji kicking Luffy on Whole Cake Island? If you recall, Zoro wasn't pleased with Luffy's readiness to forgive Usopp after the events in Water 7. Zoro believed that an apology was necessary before Usopp could rejoin the crew, as he had disrespected the captain. So, it begs the question, would Zoro feel the same about Sanji and Whole Cake Island? This is a hypothetical scenario, and here's what might happen if Zoro witnessed Sanji's actions. Actually, I cannot provide a definite answer to this question. To address it, I will present facts and a scenario where Roronoa Zoro witnesses his captain being attacked by one of his own crew members. You probably already know that Zoro is the first mate who decided to join Luffy as a pirate. Zoro's loyalty to Luffy is unquestionable, as he has always been the first to support Luffy's decisions as captain. In Chapter 485, Roronoa Zoro even sacrifices his ambition to become the greatest swordsman in the world to save his captain and the rest of the crew when facing Bartholomew Kuma at Thriller Bark. It doesn't stop there. In Chapter 224 in Mocktown or Jaya Island, Luffy orders Zoro not to retaliate against the actions of Bellamy's group and the people who attacked and mocked them at a tavern in the town. Yet, when Luffy was first attacked by Bellamy, Zoro swiftly drew his sword right in front of Bellamy's neck. And you surely know Zoro's character, a man with strong determination, fearless, and unwilling to yield to anyone. But in that chapter, he willingly endured mistreatment just to obey the captain's orders. In Chapter 176, precisely when they were in Rain Base, Zoro was ordered by his captain Luffy to save Captain Smoker of the Navy, who was also trapped there. Of course, at that moment, Zoro strongly disagreed with his captain's order, but what can he do? The captain's orders must be obeyed. Then, in Chapter 50, Luffy ordered Zoro to chase after Nami, who had taken their ship, the Going Merry. Initially, Zoro didn't want to do it, but because Luffy needed Nami as the navigator on his ship, Zoro immediately complied and chased after Nami, albeit reluctantly. In Chapter 597, Zoro even begged Mihawk to teach him sword techniques to become stronger and can protect his captain. From the discussion earlier, it can be concluded that Zoro will obey all of his captain's orders, even though he may disagree with the captain's decisions. So, what will Zoro do when he sees his captain being beaten up by Vinsmoke Sanji on Whole Cake Island? Of course, it all depends on the captain's orders. Most likely, Luffy as captain will order Zoro to stay put. How do I know? Because it was very clear in Chapter 844, Luffy ordered Nami not to interfere in his fight against Vinsmoke Sanji. So, it's highly likely that Luffy as captain will give the same order to Zoro if he's in that situation. Additionally, we can also refer to the conflict between Luffy and Usopp in Water 7. We see Zoro not interfering in their affairs and respecting Luffy's decisions. For the comparison between Sanji and Usopp, when Sanji finally meets Luffy, he is crying in front of Luffy and doesn't want to rejoin the crew again because of his attitude toward Luffy at the start of the Whole Cake Island arc. Although in the end, Sanji rejoins the Straw Hat crew because Luffy forgives Sanji for his attitude. On the other hand, Usopp doesn't initially show concern about his attitude towards Luffy, and still wants to rejoin the crew with a happy-go-lucky attitude, but eventually realizes his mistakes and begs for forgiveness. That's why Zoro shows tough love towards Usopp, because Usopp continues to disrespect his captain until the end of the post-Enies Lobby arc, while Sanji is very loyal and respects his captain during the Whole Cake Island arc. What do you think would happen if Zoro saw Sanji kick Luffy on Whole Cake Island? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.